Hey everyone. Okay, today is the start of another Grunts and Crafts project for all of you wanting to do more more homemade projects, excuse me, on a budget with stuff that you probably already have. Okay, so Tru-Spec products, a pair of brown Tru-Spec tactical duty pants that I've had for quite a while, and a OD green Tru-Spec like enhanced BDU top. It doesn't have the lower waist pouches, but it's got zipper, Velcro, breast pockets, shoulder pouches with Velcro, hook and loop, and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these solid color uniforms and we're going to apply a pattern to them with rattle can spray paint. Couple of quick things here before we I kind of do some cuts and show you some of the progress and in things like that. Color spectrum, color palettes based on regional application. So first and foremost, what is the most common earth tone? What is the most common bracket of color found across the globe in large? Brown. This is pretty much kind of a medium, kind of that chocolate milk, light chocolate milk brown kind of color. This is a good, solid foundational color. A lot of uniforms should be a brown base, and then applying different colors with and you know, pattern styles and stuff with camouflage. Green is good too, but again, more applicable for wooded environments, jungles, northwoods like where I am, you know, things like that. Where it gets more sparse in the mountains and arid climates and things like that, you're going to want to have a brown base and then apply what you need to on it for an effective camouflaging pattern. Principle aside with that, so what we're going to do is kind of attempting a more of a blurred edge kind of camouflage. It's going to be fairly matte. It's not really going to have any pronounced or stark dark lines and crackling and things to it, although you can do that, and you can do that easily with, say, a Magnum Sharpie to do some deviation and crackling lines to help break up profile. But in this case, we're just going to do a couple of colors based on what the base color is, and a couple of colors over that to add patterning to these using camo netting and some cut cardboard for a template for shaping as you need it, to help break up these solid colors and add a camouflaging to them that will work in a number of different environments, and will give you some ideas about how to apply this for yourself with stuff, again, that you probably already have and on a budget, but something a little more customizable for yourself that's going to work in your environment. Now, obviously, there are spray paints that are not more on the NIR compliance side for those concerned with night vision and things like that, but there are paints that are. Rust-Oleum outdoor camo paints, Airvo camo spray paint, which the military uses, and there's a couple of other brands out there. Verustolika retails one of them as well, that are specifically NIR compliant spray paints that you can use for this as well. I'll be using Rust-Oleum per usual. It's one of my favorite outdoor camo camo paint palettes. It's simple, inexpensive. Okay, again, that's the concept with this, is kind of doing things on a budget, but doing things for yourself that's going to work. So with that, round that off with that little bit of discussion and talk and stuff. So we'll cut over to what it looks like starting to apply the patterning and things like that in my makeshift painting booth, i.e. my bathroom, with good ventilations. So we'll cut over to that here, but you'll get an idea of what it's going to look like with some patterning on it, okay? And then in another video, the part 2 to this, I will do an effectiveness test out in the woods with these items of clothing once I've got them camouflaged up, just so you can see how it kind of works for my area, but it's still summer right now, so it's very lush woodland, a lot of good shadow and light coming through, treetops and things like that. It's not like we have like a triple canopy like the jungle. Again, that's going to work really well there too anyway, but you'll get the idea with the part 2 of the camo test. But for now, just showing you some customization with some solid color stuff that you probably have sitting around that you can do something with to make yourself effectively more camouflaged in your environment. So let's code over. Okay, so painting has been done. So what I did initially, using just really 2 colors on each, because again, brown and green bases, so green and khaki on this one and brown and khaki on this one for diffusion. So initially I took camo netting and did a lot of that small diffuser type patterning on it. Same on this one. And then I go back, and with the green I'm doing striping, again profile breakup, things like that, and adding khaki dots, kind of that blurred dot kind of concept like you saw, like you see with Flecktarn and also P dot camo, the old German M44, you know, stuff like that. And I did it over here too with the brown and also the khaki. Now this is going to dry and fade out a little bit. These edges are going to blur a little bit, but that's what it looks like. They look really good. You got to do full coverage, okay? So this is gonna look really cool out in the field. And more of the key point, it's gonna work. A lot of blurred edging here. You get the little bit of diffusing pattern, the dots. It does help break up profile, absolutely. So that's, again, key points of concept with this kind of stuff. So you see it with the trousers here. Okay. So and it's all the way around. It's, turn this real quick. So there you go. On the sides. Getting the underarms and all that fun stuff. Getting the back. All that goodness. Okay? So again, these will kind of dull out a little bit, and it's really going to help the pattern. Again, MacVSOG, they did this kind of stuff too. So again, with stuff that you have, if you've got some solid color stuff and you want to make an effective camo for yourself based on the area that you're in and things like that, like this is a good way to do it. So again, focus, there we go. Base with the camo netting, okay? And you're going through with the 2 colors for each one, so like green and khaki on this one, on the brown, and then brown and khaki on the green. You're doing, focus, you're doing that diffusion base with the netting over it first and getting patterning, and then you come back again and doing dots and striping and things like that, okay? Same over here too. You see how that works. This is good. This looks really good. I'm very happy with this. It looks great. So once this all dries and kind of absorbs and dulls out a little bit, this has more cotton in it than this does. 2 different fabric blends. That was another kind of test I was doing with it just to see how it would work. They both took exceptionally well, as you can see. So these are going to work really well out in the field. So let these dry over the next couple of days. Really let it set in and things like that, and then I will come back with a part 2 video and show an effectiveness test out in the woods in my area during this time of the year. So things to consider for yourself, like for arid climates, this is probably going to work pretty well, and you can make variations to how you need to with this. You know, instead of dots, you can do more striping with the khaki as well, kind of like almost like 3-color DCU a little bit. Notice I don't have any black in here at all, which is fine because the way that it is, it's going to pick up light and shadow really well. Understanding light and color dynamics and things like that are kind of important to making a camouflage in the first place, but testing them is a lot of fun too. So I'm really looking forward to how this is going to work and how this looks out there. So this is going to be a really cool test, and yeah, very pleased with how it looks. So this just to give you an idea, you only need really like 3 colors of rattle can based on what colors of base garment that you're using. Again, brown is preferred, especially for underbrush and the ground and stuff. For trousers, and then for the top, again, summer, and for spring and autumn, especially my area, focus. For my area, there's a lot of foliage. Very lush green environment, so having green for the upper actually is really effective, and then doing this to it, the fusion of different styles and application, it works really well. I already know these kinds of styles works because, you know, M81 US Woodland works really well here, Rhodesian Brushstroke, Fleck Tarn, they all work really well here, so I know these are going to work well, but I'm looking forward to doing the testing videos on these for everyone. So just to give you some ideas, okay, you can see these look great, these look really good, okay, and you could add more colors if you want, but you really don't need too much, okay, and it's going to work really well for you. So good stuff here. Alright, so this is going to round off the part 1 of the video. Part 2 video will be out testing it in the woods, okay? Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this gives you some ideas. Make things, customize things, have fun. Metal up. Out.